إن الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. My dear viewers, brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. وقال الله تعالى في الكلام المجيد اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. In Surah Faatiha, Allah teaches us to read اهدنا الصراط المستقيم, guide us along the straight path. This is the only verse that you can find in Surah Al-Fatiha, not alone in the Quran itself. You cannot find a verse completely that tells us exactly what it says, اهدنا الصراط المستقيم, guide us along the straight path. In Surah Al-Fatiha, you'll find it, but you won't find in any other verse of Surah Al-Fatiha when ask for something. We are appealing for something. Other things that we are just giving commitment. إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ, you alone we worship. وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ, and you alone we seek for help. All these are basically, we are giving commitment to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We vow to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we will worship Him only, none but anybody else, only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we will seek for help only from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. However, for asking something, Allah ta'ala, for begging something, it is إِهْدِنَا الصِّرَاطَ الْمُسْتَقِيمِ, guide us along the straight path. Why? If we understand why, what are the three dimensions of Hidayah, and how ultimate Hidayah towards Sirat al-Mustaqim is lying in Allah's hand, then we'll be able to understand why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made us to read in every single rak'ah of our every single prayer, in 5 times daily prayer, or even in our nawafil or extra salah, extra prayer, we need to read this surah, and definitely in this surah we need to read اهدنا الصراط المستقيم, guide us along the straight path. Why Hidayah is so important? Because Hidayah is the most blessed ni'mah Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us. The first thing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave Adam and Hawa after sending them on dunya from Jannah, when He drove them out from Jannah, as He says in Surah Baqarah verse 38, Allah bitu minkum jami'an, all of you go out from here. From me there will be guidance coming. فَمَنْ تَبِعَ هُدَايَا, whoever follows the guidance, فَلَا خَوْفٌ عَلَيْهِمْ, for him there will be no fear, or وَلَا هُمْ يَحْزَنُونَ, and there will be nothing to disappoint for that person. So first thing that came from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was Hidayah. Because without Hidayah, you cannot live the life. Without Hidayah, you cannot do worship properly. Without Hidayah, you cannot get the true path. You cannot keep along the straight path, Sirat al-Mustaqim. The second thing is the 3 dimensions of Hidayah that we need to understand. What are these 3 dimensions? Number 1 is you can guide someone to go to a particular place. If a person comes to you and asks you for leading the person towards Sainsbury's or towards a shop or the mosque, then you will say that go straight, keep walking this path, and you can see after 100 meters on your right there is a grocery shop or off-license shop, and just on the left of the off-license shop you can see the masjid, or you can see the shop. So this is how we can guide. This is what we can do. As Allah teaches us, tells us to do, Allah says that وَتَوَصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ in Surah Al-Asr. What are the believers doing? The believers enjoying each other in doing good deeds. We can enjoy Him. We can encourage people. As Allah says in Surah Ma'idah verse 2, تَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى, encourage each other عَلَى الْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى, in doing good deeds and righteousness. وَلَا تَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْإِثْمِ وَالْعُدْوَانِ, and do not encourage each other in doing bad deeds and sins. So this is what we can do. And in Surah Ali Imran verse 104, Allah SWT says, وَلْتَكُمْ مِنْكُمْ أُمَّةٌ يَدْعُونَ إِلَى الْخَيْرِ, really you must have a group of people who will call people towards doing good deeds. وَيَعْمَلُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ, and they will call people towards good deeds. وَيَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ, and who will prohibit people in doing bad deeds. So all we can do is actually we'll try to prohibit people doing bad deeds. We'll try to call them towards good deeds. That means we can just guide them. This is the way. You can go to this way, and you can definitely get the right path and your destination hopefully over there. This is what humans can do. We, as normal people, normal Muslim, normal believers, we can do. The second dimension of Hidayah is lead towards the destination. So, like I said, you cannot lead, and of course, if you have time, definitely you can lead, maybe. But in the true sense, in terms of Hidayah, you cannot lead a person to the destination, where the person goes exactly to the shop, the Sainsbury's or the mosque the person wants to go to. You cannot lead the person to the destination. Only the Rasuls, the Prophets, and the Messengers, they can do. The second dimension of Hidayah can only be done by the Prophets and the Messengers. As Allah says in Surah Baqarah verse 119, Inna arsalnaka bil haqqi bashiran wa nadhiran wa la tus'alu an ashabil jahim. Verily, we have sent you as a bearer of glad tidings and as a warner, and you won't be asked about the dwellers of hell. What does it mean? It means the people who want to misguide themselves, even having the guidance, having the dawah of the Quran, these people want to guide themselves towards wrong path, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam won't be asked about these people. In verse 45 and 46 of Surah Ahzab, Allah says, Ya ayyuhan nabiyyu inna arsalnaka shahidan wa mubashiran wa nadhiran wa da'iyan ila Allah bi'idhnihi wa sirajan munira. When we have sent you as a witness, a bearer of glad tidings, a warner, and a caller towards Allah with His permission, meaning Allah's permission, and a lamp of light, and lamp of light of Hidayah. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam can demonstrate people towards the destination. However, on the third dimension, which is ultimate Hidayah, is in Allah's hand. Ultimate Hidayah is only in Allah's hand. No one can, even no Prophet, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself, cannot make someone go to reach the destination. In Surah Qasas, verse 56, Allah says, إِنَّكَ لَا تَهْدِي مَنْ حَبَبْتَ وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ يَهْدِي مَنْ يَشَاءُ وَهُوَ أَعْلَمُ بِالْمُهْتَدِينَ. Verily, you cannot guide whomsoever you love. It is Allah whomsoever He wants to guide to, and He knows the best who is guided. So this particular verse of Surah Qasas was revealed on the occasion when Rasulullah SAW was trying to insist Abu Talib on accepting Shahada. All Mufassirun, Ibn Kathir, Qurtubi, of the first stage of Islam, of the tafsir, in the history of tafsir, they write the same incident, that this particular verse was revealed on the occasion of Rasulullah SAW trying to insist Abu Talib on accepting Shahada. And Allah warns Rasulullah SAW that ultimate Hidayah is not in your hand, it is in Allah's hand. Only Allah can guide whomsoever He wants to. As you know, in Surah Ghashiyah verse 21, فَذَكِّرْ إِنَّمَا أَنْتَ مُذَكِّرْ لَسْتَ عَلَيْهِمْ بِمُسَيْطِرٍ. You just pass the message. You just warn them. You just remind them. لَسْتَ عَلَيْهِمْ بِمُسَيْطِرٍ. But you are not a policeman. You are not the person who can force them, who can insist them. So ultimate Hidayah is in Allah's hand. So we need to understand that to reach exactly to the destination, whether a person will be able to enter the mosque, as the person asked you to go there, whether the person will be able to enter the shop and do shopping and meet his purpose, this is completely in Allah's hand. So we need to understand these three dimensions. That number one, Hidayah, that we can guide someone, show someone how to go to a destination, how to come to Islam, how to accept Islam, why Islam is the only path, only Sirat al-Mustaqim. And the second thing is how to do that through Rasulullah's life, how Rasulullah demonstrated. And the third one is in Allah's hand. We don't have anything to do. You can just make dua for the person to guide them. Now we make dua, so Allah keep us on the straight path, Sirat al-Mustaqim. Keep me on the straight path properly to the end of my life, and also to the end of your lives. Allah keep you on this straight path. Allah guide us towards Sirat al-Mustaqim. Inshallah, keep sharing and definitely subscribe so you can get notification for the next video. Ma'as salam.